Novel fans. Now, I mean, I mentioned this in my episode review for last night's episode that honestly, I don't think there's like a barrage of theory discussion videos for me to do after last night's episode like there was during episodes 1 and episodes 2 of season 2. But last night was still good. 7.5 out of 10. If you want my full breakdown and review, go to that video. The cliffhanger, even I didn't see coming. Like, I honestly did not see that coming. That was a very good cliffhanger. Victoria was dumping the clothes out of Jason's trunk. And then found the sword as Hunter was building up the nerve to wrap up Jean's body from underneath the bed and put it in there. So we pick up in the trailer where Victoria thinks that Jason was the one that killed Denise, and Hunter's like, no, he didn't do it. I hope and pray that the episode quickly covers why Jason was not the murderer. Now, is this the sword that was missing from Hunter's and the residency, the main bedroom? Yes, it definitely looks like it is based off the hilt being brown. And before you ask, no, this is not the same sword that the highest had, which he claimed was a gift he used to threaten Denise, where he threatened to, Ruth, saying, I could cut your head off right now if I wanted to. And then I want you to cut yourself. You're too beautiful. Would you do it for me? But then she doesn't. The hilt on the highest sword was black. The hilt on this sword is brown. Now, I did some research, and yeah, you can change the hilt of a sword, but it depends on the model and make of the weapon. If it's like, reattachable, or if you just need to dismantle it and create an entirely new one. I don't think it just wouldn't make sense. Now, this Tyler Perry has been known for the lack of continuity where certain actors are temporarily replaced or just replaced altogether. Different objects and things are just missing or miscolored or not the same. So you could easily make the argument, well, Jeremy, maybe it is the same one, but it's just a different color. I don't like that explanation, but nobody's perfect. And yet again, Tyler Perry continuity has proven that he has done things like this before. So yes, if Tyler Perry wants to write it as it's the same one, it could damn well sure be the same one. Just doesn't make sense. I don't like it because these are major plot points right here. Point, sword, get it? But no. I'm sorry. I can't argue about this point anymore because I know in the quick segue in the Sisters Facebook group, there have been a number of posts from people saying, guys, people arguing, going back and forth about Andy being the one to run up Andy being the one to run up Karen's business credit card isn't true. She was given a credit card, but that was Sabrina's credit card, not Karen's credit card. So the same thing with this situation with Jason. Jason, Gail, Victoria, and Maude were gone from the White House. Kyle said, hey, the first family has exited the White House. They're going to brunch with your mother-in-law. I'll bring Denise in now. This was all prior to it. Unless the only way this can make sense, because Kyle has proven that he isn't as fully efficient as he makes himself out to be. Because remember, Kyle didn't even know Max was alive. The only way this could work is if, let's say, Jason's like, oh, I need to use the restroom. So he's like, he goes back into the White House while Gail, Victoria, and Maude are waiting for him in the car. He goes up to the residency because remember, he stated that he's seen Denise come in and out of the White House a few times before. I think he told this to Hunter. And he could have snuck into the residency because this is Jason we're talking about. He knows secret passageways because Kyle was standing outside of the door the whole time. Security footage proves that because remember, we later learned in last night's episode that when Priscilla was talking with Alonzo, the president had a lot of the security cameras from the residency removed. So remember early on after, Richard got fired because of Gail's allegations against Barry, Victoria told Gail and Hunter that, yeah, there are cameras everywhere, even in the residency. You don't know anything, dumbass. So Hunter probably had those removed at that time. So Jason could have snuck in because this dude knows his way in and out of the White House. And from there, he could have snuck into the room, possibly tried to make a move on Denise. She refused, and then chopped her head off, and then jumped right back into the car. But I don't think that's the case. But that's the only way it could make sense. But even still, I highly doubt it. This is me trying to. I'm really reaching here like Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four. I'm just stretching my arms out, trying to see how this can make sense, because that's the only way. I mean, he would go in there, take the weapon, chop the head off, run into his room, hide the sword underneath his clothing, but he would probably need to clean it off because it was hard to really tell if the sword was drenched in blood. I don't think that's the case because I know Victoria was in a rush, just kind of throwing clothes out of the trunk like the way she was. So we'll no doubt get a close up of the sword in the next episode. But for now, it's like maybe the clothes it was wrapped in probably cleaned it off. I don't really think so. Regardless, all I'm saying is there's no plausible way from what we've been shown in the show so far. Like you could argue, well, if Hunter was in the room, then how the hell would Jason no, because the way the episode framed it, the family was out of the White House. Denise was on the bed and made Hunter crawl to her. And then, they probably popped those pills. And then afterwards he got up, then went to the restroom. And then when he came back, the head was chopped off. There's no way Jason came back during that time. So this looks bad, and I think this is framed very well as, either a setup, like probably the person who actually did the deed took the sword and then hid it in Jason's room. Because remember, the sword was missing. It was there when Denise was in the room. Because when Hunter first went into the room and Denise was on the bed, both swords were there. But it was missing when Hunter came out of the bathroom. So it was not Jason. I think the sword is a setup because it looks bad. Not to mention the fact that this really looks bad for Jason. Hey, there's a dead body underneath your bed. Did you have something to do with my mother's death? And now all of a sudden there's a sword, the murder weapon, in your room. I got to give points to the freaking Oval right here because remember, we've been asking this for years now. Amanda was shot. She didn't kill herself. She was killed. She had her own gun. We've seen her gun multiple times, but where was the gun when the police came to check out the room? Nobody ever brought up the gun. So here we are with Denise, where we still don't know who killed her, but we found the murder weapon. So like I said in my video a couple days ago, the Oval isn't perfect, but it is doing some things right that the haves and the have-nots did wrong. So guys, just to sum it all up, Jason did not kill Denise. Tyler Perry would just have to really go out on a limb and explain how this worked, because if he can do that, then bravo. Makes no damn sense at the moment because Jason was not in the White House. I don't feel like talking about this anymore. He was not in the White House. Him, his mother, grandmother, and sister were on their way to brunch. Denise was brought in after it was established that the first family was gone. And that's that. So the sword is definitely probably a setup. Or it could be an entirely different sword anyway. And it is not the same one the Heist has. So let me just, you all fill in the blanks. Tell me if I'm wrong. Like, is there a clue from an episode that I don't know? Honestly, I don't think that's the case, but we'll have to wait and see. But, yeah. So with that being said, please take a moment to hit subscribe. Wait, did I do all that at the beginning of the video? I honestly don't remember. But like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post new content to the channel. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. And if you would like to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal, Cash App, or join Patreon for as little as $1 a month.